and I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow as Modica. But I get to play with my lower registers today.
And tonight you will see, later we are using Fantasy Grounds Unity for our virtual tabletop for Pathfinder 2nd Edition. It does work with 1st and 2nd Edition, as well as a number of other systems. They are a sponsor of the stream. If you're interested in picking up a virtual tabletop, I could not recommend it more. I would go to fantasygrounds.com to check it out. They have all sorts of systems and settings, even custom content you can put in. And we have a shout out for our Patreon. You can see our background map here. Beautiful graphic. It's tied into some things I have planned for tonight. If you're interested in any of the battle maps you see tonight, go to Che and Piku on Patreon. I will have a link to them in the show notes, but they make fantastic maps. You'll see in just a bit. But let's take it in. All of you have spent some number of days or even weeks traveling to Ustalav. You're in the eastern county of the grim and mysterious northern nation, Varno, as it's called. Varno's not known for many things, really, mostly rumor, speculations, and the occasional haunt or cult. But where you're headed is nowhere important, except that you each received a letter. Some of you know Liren Brightburn, each for different reasons. But some time ago, he sent you a letter requesting a second chance, if you will, to prove yourself. And with that, you've made your way to the neighboring town. The directions it puts you, you're only about a day's travel away. You arrive at a crossroads where you know you can pick up a stagecoach carriage. Each of you arrive, likely from different directions, and the stagecoach sits where the two roads intersect. It's gloomy with the mid-morning fog. As the carriage arrives, you all arrive too. About perfect timing, but with a smack of the hand, the bald man on top of the carriage loosens the door. It swings open. Really, this carriage is supposed to fit four, but as the five of you arrive, you realize you're the only people here. Likely you're all here for the same thing. Some of you know each other, though. Dorian, let's say you're first to arrive at the carriage. What do you look like?
Dorian Ashwood. He stands about 5'9", give or take. Dark black, jet black hair. Just peeking out from under a hood. The bottom of his face is visible from the shadow. His skin is pale white. His lips just a slight tinge of blue. However, two piercing red eyes can be seen coming out from the dark of the shadow of the hood. Along his back is a longbow. Underneath that is quiver. Over one shoulder, he is carrying a backpack that he just tosses up on top of the carriage, securing it with some line before peering into the carriage in and of itself to see who else is there. Finding a seat if there is one.
Yeah. Sitting in there, actually. Galen's already found his way in. Galen, what do you look like as you sit in this carriage?
Galen is kind of, from sitting position, he would look like around average height, leaner build, and he's got very clearly like battle-scarred leather armor on with a bone mask that resembles the one I'm wearing, and a green hood that kind of just drapes down his shoulders, obscuring the rest of his face.
Galen, you don't recognize this man who's entered the carriage, but just beyond, you see someone 20 feet away, just above his shoulder, out on the road, headed towards the carriage. Sam, introduce your character.
Yeah, Kai stands fairly tall, lanky elf. Looks like a good breeze will probably push her over. She has dark purple hair, sort of like the sea when it churns in a storm, and scales along the sides of her face, looking more like she belongs in the water than on land. And definitely the way she walks, she's not as comfortable here as she would be near the sea. But she'll look towards the carriage and just kind of not sure if this is the right place or not.
The bald man sits portly, scratches his head looking at you, trying to figure out just what you are. Likely the first guess is an elf, but not the kind of elf they're thinking of. But he doesn't call you to head in. You've noticed in a place like this, people don't really talk to strangers, lest it be the last thing they do. Thorn and Zipper. I imagine you two are a little more comfortable in this kind of an environment. It's gloomy like it's dusk, but you know the sun rose somewhere beyond the clouds a couple of hours ago. You still have a days of travel ahead of you, but as you arrive at the crossroads, you were told you could find a carriage here. There's only one to be found, and it looks like it's already starting to fill up. What do you two do?
Well, Thorn is about 5'10" and has long, elegant brown hair with a few twigs in it. Red robes drape gracefully along the torso and split, making it easier to walk with trousers. And they have a staff at their side, and are currently handing a cupcake to their small companion.
This
Zipper is
Go ahead, describe.
very small, very happily taking said cupcake. She's about 5 foot if she tries real hard. And she does often. So she's wearing some very comfortable clothing that sort of drape but also fit over her gold toned skin. She has long shoulder lengthish hair that is very deep green, and her eyes are vivid yellow. She is nearly bouncing next to Thorn, clearly very excited and unable to walk with any kind of a normal gait. She grabs a cupcake and gobbles it down as they move towards the carriage.
Do you want to sit inside or next to the coachman?
Yes! Wait,
No, you
that
have
was
to
an either or.
choose.
Okay. I think I'll sit outside. Somewhere. On the
All
carriage.
right. Obviously.
The portly, bald individual scoots to the left, giving some space for you on top of the carriage. He pats one of the horses. They know it's about time to depart. That leaves Galen, Kai, Thorn, and Dorian inside the carriage. You can make a check if you would like. about one another, but intuition would probably tell you that fate has tied you guys together in some way. This road only really leads to one place. It would be a hell of a coincidence if you all had nothing to do with one another. But the journey's long. Does anybody wish to break the silence first?
Galen?
Is there a
Galen.
window that peeks
You would have
between?
recognized her. Yeah, the walls are sheer, and there is a window. You can see back. You could likely hear. But Galen, yeah, you might have recognized Kai quite a while ago. Kai would only be recognizing you now, but go ahead, Kai.
Galen, is that you?
Yes.
How long has it been?
3, 4 years.
Noticed a couple new scars since the last time we saw one another. Didn't hardly recognize you.
That's what happens when you fall 50 feet from the sky.
Still flying around on that Drake then.
It's the best way to get around.
My
A
bet's
Drake,
by
you
water.
say?
Aye, a drake.
Risky business, that.
And
Well done. It is a pleasure to
More
meet
of
both of
a,
you. My name is Dorian Ashwood.
Pleasure is all mine, Dorian.
yes. I'm Kai as well. Kaitis.
So what takes you both to the castle?
Oh, a letter from dear old Pa.
So this is about
Truly.
your father again?
Truly.
Interesting.
That context. You all had a letter, but to one person, this was from Pa. So, interesting. You don't remember Liren mentioning a son, or family at all to speak of, and yet here he is. Maybe without the mask, you'd recognize some similarities there, but at the same time, you haven't seen Liren in a few years. You thought maybe he was dead or something. He just kind of fell off the face of the earth there for a while. But if anybody has anything that they would like to do over the next few hours.
Well, the one strange thing as they get underway is that somehow the door on Thorn's side of the carriage shuts, but her hands remain completely still, and the coachman is already in his seat.
Arriving finally.
I knew,
I would pop my head through the. I would just pop
Yep.
in my head and just be like, "Hi, I'm Zipper. Good to meet you."
Pleasure.
Nice to meet you, Zipper.
Then I pop my head back out again.
Portly individual on the carriage doesn't speak to you at all, but he doesn't seem upset. He's smiling, but he doesn't even look you in the eye. Sometimes he looks in your direction to make sure you don't fall off after a tight turn or something, but other than that, he's on his merry way. Finally arriving, though, Dorian, you would know that there is a farm at the base of this wider estate. It feeds the castle ahead, which is still about 2 miles away. Though you were told to meet Liren here. This connection doesn't make any sense to you, I imagine. But as you arrive at the farm, the stagecoach driver, he hops off and opens the door. Here you are.
Thank you.
And he'll step aside to retrieve people's equipment. Kai, do you have anything
Dorian will
strange in your
stop.
equipment?
Dorian will stop anyone from
Strange.
getting his equipment and just get it himself.
There's a rather probably wrapped up in a cloth, looking sort of like a spear, but it's hard to tell exactly what it is. Other than that, not really.
Yeah. How about you, Thorn? Any carry on or stowaway?
There was something that was put on the back of the carriage, and they take it off the carriage, but then all of a sudden it just disappears on their person. But you know it's got to be somewhere. There was a crossbow, and a club, and a staff, and a bag. And they're all just whisked away.
As he's holding it, it vanishes.
No, she takes it from him and then puts it on, but then can't see it anymore.
Got it. He eyes you each. One final time. Suddenly, you wouldn't notice it if not for the carriage right beside you, but a rocking, followed by the rattling of some leaves off in the distance. Shh. Like something darting around silently in the night. He stops, looks behind into the darkness.
Don't be afraid. They're with me. And I hold my hand out, and out of the forest comes a little cat. But it's got bark and moss for fur, and glowing green eyes. And it comes and wraps around my foot a couple times, and then just sits next to me.
Well, I hope not to see any of you again. He looks at you each with
Truly.
suspicion. People like this show up in Ustalav. It's never really a good thing, is it? And with that, he steps back on his carriage, but he'll wait a moment to make sure this really is the right place. Take the chance at extra
Certainly hope
coin
to
if you
see
guys
you
decide
again.
to turn away.
I do plan on heading back to a proper town. He tosses him a gold.
He'll catch it. About 100 feet away, north, there is a farm. It's where Liren said it would be, and it looks like how he described it. Dorian, you already know this farm. What do you guys do?
Dorian just starts heading towards it,
That's what I was going to do.
sort of assuming where he needs to go.
Mm-hmm.
Just going to bounce behind him.
Kyle will take in her surroundings first, mostly looking at the different plants in the area, but not heading straight towards where they're supposed to go.
Thorn, come on.
It's best we all stay together. Kai, is it?
Yeah. You'll notice that under her cloak, like within one of her pockets, something seems to move nervously. Little squeaking sound.
Have you a familiar as well?
No,
Just a
she likes to
pet.
keep chew toys on her.
Oh, Galen. You never were very funny.
Can't blame me
That
for
was a
trying.
joke. I see. Zipper keeps trying to make me laugh.
It's not very effective. So, are we
Notice
going to
now.
do something?
Yeah,
We're all
Dorian
being
is
mysterious.
halfway to the farm. If you guys wish to catch up, Galen, particular, this is quite an interesting situation. Your father, presumably, is here. Would you try to be the first person to see him if he is?
No. Galen is getting a feel for the surrounding area. Looking about. I mean, he's sticking with the party, but he's kind of off looking around.
Yeah. Make a perception check for me.
All right.
And Dorian, as you arrived, you enter the main farmhouse.
Oh,
Did you grace me the first roll of 2021? The first roll of the
Well
year.
done. Well
You
done,
bless
Galen.
me with
Well done.
So I wasn't going to mention it because I didn't want to bring any attention to it. I didn't want to
You got a
focus
21.
on it too hard. But, yeah, you did, didn't you? Is
Yeah.
that an omen or what? Well, it's all downhill from this session. So, yeah, Dorian, do you head straight in?
Yeah, he does.
Right.
Well,
For pace, who would say that they're next?
I think I was sort of bouncing behind Galen, trying to figure out where he was going. But
Yeah,
he's kind of like
it's like
looking
he's-
around or stumbling over something. I don't know.
Galen has gotten distracted by a flower.
So
Is-
once I realized that that's not going anywhere, and I'm very impatient, so I just go back towards where everybody else seems to be going. So I might be halfway out already.
I'll be
Yeah.
behind Zipper.
Kai. You're muted. Dorian, as you enter the farm, person you're looking for is here. Aaron. He has black hair, swept back nearly to his shoulders now, and a beard that traces his jawline and meets the chin with white hair. He looks deep in thought as he sits on a bed in the corner with a book open.
Hello. We have arrived.
Oh, hello. Is there a Galen in there? He's looking out of the
coming.
window to the carriage. Very well. You must know by now this isn't a coincidence.
It was readily apparent, yes. What are you looking for with the lot of us?
I should wait for the lot of you. It's a proposition.
Very well.
The situation
Do you
is
have drinks?
plenty. And he'll point.
I
You
think
see a
at this
table.
point, Zipper and Thor have moved in.
Yeah.
Dorian will rest his
Ooh.
longbow up against a chair, tossing his bag into the seat of that same chair, and simply go grab a cup and whatever wine or other alcohol might be readily available.
Seems to be plenty of red wine brought in. Kai,
Zipper's sort of
Thorn, Zipper.
moving about. Yeah, Zipper's kind of moving about the room, like picking up everything she sees and examining it and moving in a steady path around, just examining things.
Galen, you finally arrive?
Yeah.
Well, you see him. Your father, you haven't seen him in years. He looks different. Last year, remember, he had short hair. A military cut. No beard to speak of. He has a beard, and what's more is there's signs of age in it. But you still see yourself in him. The resemblance is strong. He looks up at you.
Father?
Oh, well, hello, Galen. He's fixated on your mask. And where'd you get that?
Something I found rage eating.
Rage. Is he well?
Never better.
All right. Well, I suppose you're all here then. Sent word for others. Many others. They wouldn't brave this. Okay. If any of you have questions, you can ask it now. Otherwise, I have an offer for you. You're going to hate to hear it.
I have a question.
Well,
How come you failed Thorn?
It's connected. I'll address it. Anything else? You look at his son and Dorian, Kai. Well,
will this test be like the others?
I wish it were. It can't be like the others. You passed the others. This one's different. But I know you're a pick. You're right for it. Okay.
What is it?
As you know, and his face sinks for a second. He looks at Galen. As many of you know, and I'm sorry if I didn't have it in me to tell you, I'm a Hermaean. I'm from Promise. My job was to find the best of the best. For all walks of life, you all are exemplary. You passed every test I could throw at you. A small fraction of people could do such a thing. And yet they said you failed. It wasn't until much later I learned why. Promise, they require a certain sense of spirit. When it becomes difficult, you don't question your orders. That's what they want, among other things, but you didn't quite have it. Each one of you.
It is foolish to not question orders. That don't make sense.
And it's reasonable. Promise, but I couldn't figure out just why. They recalled me to Promise in the Isle of Hermea until I found something. Something dark. Something evil they shouldn't keep. Now, if I show you what I'm about to show you, it changes everything. Do you understand?
Get this over with. You're being dramatic.
Changes
He
how?
produces a box. And he lays it on the table with the fancy red wine. The kind of wine a farmer could not afford. This was brought in from somewhere else. The box is about 1.5 feet long, maybe 8 inches wide, and a couple inches deep. Ornate chest. They want this more than you could know. So I stole it.
Who
Now I think
wanted
they
this?
might be after.
Who?
The men of
The
promise.
promise.
The promise guard. Hermea as a state, it has something to do with their utopia. They kept calling it the old thing. But they're looking for it. I have a plan. I know somebody. They can hide it. They can make it untraceable. And he looks
Can
at
it not be
Dorian.
destroyed?
I wouldn't attempt to destroy such a thing.
So you need us to transport this thing.
He looks Dorian in the eye. Your father would know what to do. He
Dorian
deals with these
sneers.
things. On the basis of a fortnight, he manages artifacts of great power 2 miles up the hill. Find him, bring him the box. He'll perform the ritual. But I
This is truly
fear things have
necessary.
already.
This sounds too
If you see
easy.
what's inside, doesn't it? Doesn't it? If you'd like,
What's
I
the
could show you
catch?
what's inside.
The catch is my father.
Oh,
Liren smiles. Yeah. The catch is his father. Dorian will help
so
you.
is this guy.
It's not quite for me to say. No matter, he won't be awake right now. He's not feeling well. Bring it to him at dusk. Until then, I have all the food and drink you could ask for. As you look around, you notice
What is his
this
price?
place is lavishly stocked. Dorian, would you believe me if I told you he's doing this out of the kindness of his heart? It's a favor for a friend.
Is there kindness in his
Touches his
heart?
chest.
You must be joking me. So you're telling me you're doing this for free? For some altruistic
I'll
purpose?
pay you. No, I'll pay you whatever you want and everything I have left. They'll
But
come
he
from
is
me.
doing it for free. He is doing it for nothing.
He owes me a great favor.
He owes you.
It's a kind of debt I don't think you would understand, Dorian.
Likely not.
Galen, Kai, can I speak with you? Private?
Of course.
Dorian just downs his glass and pours another.
He
I'm
leads
looking
you
for
both
pastries.
outside. Right. He leads you both outside to speak. Galen and Kai. Thorn, Dorian, Zipper. There's a box on the table. It's what Lyran's been speaking about. You do anything while he's gone?
Open it.
I let my familiar smell it.
Dorian just opens it. Just
You
there you
open
go.
Does anybody try to stop him?
No.
Yes.
I don't know this guy.
Wait.
The gnome.
Can we just
ahead.
check it?
That's what I'm doing.
Seems like a bad
Checking it.
When I think it's a bad idea to just do the thing, that's not a bad sign.
Do you
What he's
physically
going to do?
stop?
Blow up his own phone?
I will not physically stop him, but I'm going to duck behind something and be prepared to leap in
Yeah.
some direction.
Interesting.
Dorian, was it?
Yes.
If my enthusiastic friend offers caution, it's generally not to be ignored. Let her at least check it for
I appreciate
traps
the
or anything
concern
like
and
that.
caution. I do not believe he is going to blow up his farm or this building. And if this is so important to him, why would it be trapped? Particularly if he's giving it to us.
It's possible he didn't trap it. Or it's possible
We're
that the
about to
object
find
inside
out.
is super dangerous. Okay, I'm still hiding back here. You go right ahead.
And Dorian will go right ahead.
It is between the size of your palm and the size of your fist. An egg-shaped gem. Not one familiar to you. But we'll get back to that. Kai and Galen. You step out. It's early afternoon.
What do
now,
I have
but
to
it's
do?
quite... I don't know what you're talking about. It's just a weird coincidence. It's kind of funny, huh? Lyran addresses Galen first. Son, I should have told you about Promise. I'm sorry.
It's fine. Things happen.
He glares at you. Things do happen, don't they? What happened to you?
We don't have the time, Father.
That you're right. Kai.
Yeah.
Just look after him, okay? This goes south. Until then, and he just gestures out towards the farm. Some sheep off in the distance. Trees, wheat fields. Help yourself. There's hardly any amenities to speak of, but farm's a farm and the weather's nice. I'm gonna drink until sundown. He heads back inside.
He knows you can protect yourself, right?
Maybe it's just a father's worry.
Good time to start doing that now, I guess.
Better late than never.
Give me 1 second.
What are we going to do?
Change my mind. So, how do you guys pass the time? Apparently you have a few hours to kill.
I'm eating everything sweet I
Um,
see.
Dorian will be inspecting the thing in the box. What's inside the box?
It didn't
Thorn will
explode, so that's
be watching Zipper, and occasionally their hair will go and tap Zipper on the shoulder when they are going to eat something that is not food.
it looked like food.
I know.
So once
It's
I've
not.
filled up though, I want to go look at the stone now that it hasn't exploded up and killed everything. So
Yeah.
peek in.
The next shape gem, larger than your fist, as a gnome, with a clear polish. It's extremely smooth. As you touch it, if you touch it, you'll find nothing happens. There's a strange swirling within it. Liren has seen you guys open this thing. He walked in quite quickly, but he didn't respond. He didn't look at any of you. You let your curiosity take hold there. Is there anything you guys attempt to do with this crystal?
Dorian just picks it up and looks at it and inspects it.
Yeah,
Um,
nothing really happens with it. Go ahead.
detect magic.
Yeah, it's magical.
Kai will just look. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. But
Yeah, a strong aura. Feels old, really old.
What is so important about this crystal?
I wish I could tell you, Dorian. You're safer
Does it
without
do
that knowledge.
anything?
Not
Well, now I
in
need
this
to know.
state. Yeah, well, and if I knew, I'd tell you, but look,
They can track it.
enemies can track anything if they're apt enough. Divination magic is impressive.
All right,
It
all
would be a
right.
miracle if
You don't know what this does. Tell me about who's after it. Who should we be expecting on our heels?
the promise guard, former employer, the ones that wanted you all, they were citing some old magic, something esoteric. They said that this could be used for something, but they can't have it.
So let me just
Tell me
get
about
this
these.
straight. We were trying to get them to get us there, and they said no, we're not good enough. So you took this thing from them, and you want us to bring it to get hidden. What do we get out of this?
Look, I know. I know this isn't going to make any sense, and if you hear it from me instead of the man up the hill, it's not going to make any sense. But I need you to hold out. You don't have to agree to this mission yet. But you can decide when you get up to the castle. Speak to the man of the castle. He'll explain it a little bit better than I can.
His promise.
How come
Sorry
you
if I
didn't bring
misled
it to the castle? How come you couldn't bring it to the castle?
I've only arrived quite recently, and come to hear he's not been well, and he is resting. He looks at Dorian.
Did he request us, or did you?
Say again?
Did he request us, or did you?
I did.
All right.
And with him, I'm
His
casting a
promise.
favor.
I want to know more about the Promise Guard. What are they capable of? What can they do? What are they weak to, if anything?
They're honorable, orderly. I don't know what else to say about them. And depending on how much of a threat they think we are, this could be nothing, and it could be reckoning.
Let's assume reckoning.
I don't think they expect me. And I think you know that what's sitting atop the hill is a good defense. My friend in the castle, he has spells. He can make that thing untraceable, and he can hide it away. We're not to destroy it, but that'll buy us some time.
Doran returns the stone back to the box, slides it into the center of the table. You are not instilling me with confidence.
He never does. That's just a trait of his.
What is
Don't
so
worry, Father.
bad about the city that you wanted us to be a part of getting the stone?
Promise Guard. They work for Promise, the one and only city of Hermea, a utopia. To think that that doesn't come at some sort of cost, that's foolish. They're looking for anything they could get their hands on to keep it going.
If I remember right,
Self-preservation.
you're the one who sold me on Promise. You're the one who came to me, asking me to be a part of this city.
It's a paradise in its own right, and I need you to credit me with what I've learned over the last few years. They keep these things secret. They have so many things wrong. This is the only right that I could do. I had a chance. I took it.
Are you telling me this utopia is corrupt?
Corruption. I'm telling you that the powers that be in the Isle of Hermea, they would do whatever they can to preserve their own order. But this is wrong. This is old magic. This is dark magic.
Perfection
Kai, you
at the
do
cost
know
of all things.
Exactly. Kai, you notice this is a necromantic aura on this crystal.
Yeah, she's just sort of been staring at it the whole time as they've been talking.
Son of a bitch.
All right. Any part of it, this group decides to take this stone up to the castle? Should we be expecting, I should say, we should be expecting his promised guard. Assuming that a reckoning is the worst case scenario.
Look, if they send the promised guard, as I know them, who they would send, it's no match. Or, well, you of all people would know, Dorian. You don't enter that castle unless you have permission. It would take quite a lot to break through, yeah? It would only take a surprise
Does
attack.
promise have?
Maybe.
Let's assume Promise has every desire to get this stone back. They're going to be hunting you down first. And when they realize you don't have it, they'll come here. So, let's further assume that they're going to throw everything they can to get this stone back. They are not going to be asking for permission into that castle. So, how much can they throw at us?
They don't expect your father. They don't know what he's capable
That's
of.
fine. An ace up our sleeve, so to speak. What can they throw at us?
Some of their own mercenaries, they're not any more powerful than you lot are. You tested the best of the best. You outclassed them. They expect me.
Very well.
Of all people. They're not sending might and fury. They're sending a couple of thugs. It's not going to be a problem.
Something like this, if there is a reckoning, but as scared as you are, I'm expecting there'll be more than thugs. So, Thorn, is that right?
Yes.
Say again?
Why don't you tell us what you do?
What I do is a little bit of magic and a lot of reading the signs, the earth.
Huh. Soothsayer.
And
Fortune teller, yes?
of a sort. And if necessary, I can, what was the term you used, Zipper? Make them keel over and wish they were dead?
Yeah, it's really cool.
I think that's how she's put that.
Zipper
She's
is
very
it.
powerful. That's me.
What do you do?
I'm really good at jumping and climbing and being real quiet and sneaking up on people and taking things and sometimes, making them not be alive anymore if necessary.
I get the idea. Kai, is that right?
Yeah.
What do you do?
The elements, commune with them. And if they allow, they grant me power.
And Galen, last but not least, in his family home. What do you do?
I'm a good son with a big pet.
Ah, this Drake. Hovering around, I presume.
He's near.
And you.
Well, to be fair, I am an archer. One of the best you'll ever meet.
Quite humble, too.
No, Zivia, we are not going to contest that.
I didn't say anything.
You were going to.
Being humble is not a
I mean-
requirement for survival.
I've seen some good archers, though. She'll nod over to Galen.
Decent archers. Not as good as me.
Then
But now is not the
obviously-
time to wave cocks, as they say.
I don't even have one. Hey, but I can zap people with lightning. And I can make
Even better.
rocks fly through the air. So I don't need to use my short bow.
So, the five of us will be entering a castle of a very old individual by the name of Victor Ban. He is a vampire.
I got that vibe.
But, as our quest giver here has mentioned, he is good at what he does.
I assume you don't mean drinking blood.
He's good at that too.
Oh.
His knowledge
So,
of magic,
hold on.
divination, and abjuration are impressive.
You want us to take this stone to a vampire? For protection.
What if I told you that within his walls is the safest place within 4 days of travel from here? He owes me this
So you
favor.
better do more research.
Thorn has protectively wrapped a big lock of hair around Zipper at the mention of vampire.
What time of day is it?
It's afternoon.
Do you trust him?
With my life.
Okay.
Well, at least someone does.
Just want to put this out here. If everything you're saying is true, Father, your life's not worth much anymore. We're going to take this stone. Chances are we're going to come back and you're going to be dead.
I can handle myself.
I'm going to make one prediction here, Galen. If we leave that castle, we are not coming this direction. I can assure you of that. Whatever you may
Galen's
have to
gonna,
say to your father, I would say it.
Galen's going to just kind of stare at his father for a minute. Don't worry, Dad. I'll tell Mom we buried you somewhere real nice.
He smiles at you, but with a glare. You've not seen him cold like this before, but
So we just do this when it gets dark. Right?
That's when the castle
That-
will
wakes up.
be awake.
Dorian? Are you a
Yes.
vampire? Whoa.
He smiles, and you
We've
do see
seen
the
things I
fangs
loved.
as he pulls his hood back, and his skin is bone white, and his eyes are black with red pupils. I do have his blood in my veins, yes.
Well, it's pretty intimidating there. Yeah.
Boo.
Well, that's just funny.
Thorn will take out
Okay.
their not tarot cards, but their harrow cards. That's what it's called. And just start shuffling. It's kind of a relaxing sound.
I was hoping you could tell us our future. Maybe it isn't as bleak as I think it is.
Well, then draw a card. 2, in fact. The
He
first is if we
takes a card from the top and one from the bottom.
This first is if we take the job. The second is if we leave. The first speaks of new beginnings. But it comes through tearing something down. It is the tower. Which
Seems fitting.
does not speak well for us, but for the world at large, this utopia sounds as though it could be only a utopia for those in power. And God's help, who else is left? The second is the devil. The devil itself is unrestrained. But the people beneath it, they are in chains. They are feeble. They are unclothed and unguarded. They are at his mercy.
Well, the happy endings then.
2 happy endings.
I hope it's our happy ending, too.
We will have to try, won't we?
You're going to owe me the biggest cupcake.
If we survive, I will get you cupcakes every day.
Okay.
Well, I suspect we will be up most of the night. If you need the rest, you should probably get it. How long have you had this stone before you got here?
A few weeks. I wrote to you as
You
soon
had
as
a
I...
few weeks to track you down?
Hermea's a ways off. Locate, it's a difficult spell.
No,
I suspect they might have been on my tail. Galen, he says, looking at his son. I suspect you have a contingency plan.
I always have a contingency plan.
All right. As do I. I'm not worried. You're in good hands. Ay. Victor, he's temperamental, but he'll listen, and he'll respect this mission, okay?
Father, I'm not worried about Victor or us taking the stone where it needs to go. I'm worried about while you're still standing here and not taking the chance to start running.
You wish to see me flee. Very well.
Are you going to join us?
Where would you have me? Galen? Behind the walls? On the hill? In the castle? Would you like me to run? Play mouse? I owe you
Somewhere
this favor.
safe where
Tell
you
me
won't
where you
die.
would like me. Yeah.
Go see Mother.
Well, they're looking for me.
Is it so wrong
All
that a
right.
son doesn't wish to see his father die?
No, you're right. I'll go see Mother.
Thorn, Thorn,
Yes.
you had a little cat, did you not?
Yes. She is
How
outside.
good is that cat? Ah, perfect. Thank you.
Don't
Anyone
mention
else
it.
have any little pets they can have poking around outside?
Um,
Keep an eye out on things
Kai,
for us.
Kai just kind of like has had this mouse, this rat crawling around on her hand, and she just shakes her head.
Don't wish to
My
part
Galen,
with
cat
your
is
pet?
no longer a cat. It is
It's
a
a cat.
leshy in cat form, but it eats only
Mm.
herbs and decomposed leaves. Your companion has nothing to fear from him.
Yes, but it's
Oh no, not
not
from him.
a familiar. Yes, there's something else out there.
Hmm.
Galen will let out a really high pitched whistle, and in a few seconds, a shadow will pass over the windows of the house, and the beating of wings will just kind of resound outside. Do you want to go say hi, Father?
He's grown, hasn't he? Yes.
Oh, he's
I'd much like that. Right.
And who shall be the keeper of the stone for the day?
I'll take it.
Mm.
Very well. Doran goes and grabs his pack and longbow, quiver. Finds a little corner, takes one arrow out of the quiver, and rests it against the bow. As he pulls out a little blanket, sits down on the floor, leans up against the wall, takes one more drink, and promptly attempts to fall asleep.
Lyran heads to the stables to check on this drake. Galen, do you follow?
Yeah.
Zipper, do
We'll
you
catch
want to
up for
see
a
a
few
drake?
hours.
I want to see the drake.
May my
Is that
companion
okay?
you?
It's
Okay.
practically on display. Other than the drake, food and drink, there really isn't much to do. Do any of you rest for the next few hours ahead of dusk?
I make tea and
Dorian
meditate.
rests.
Galen would
I'll take a
rest
cat nap.
with the drake.
Kai
All right.
will spend this short time studying the stone, and then we'll rest.
Hours pass. That gloomy twilight that seems never to have ended disperses with the fog only momentarily, just enough to see a sunset, and then you're back in the darkness. The sun, out somewhere, finally sets in Ustalav. Those of you who are asleep or awake, you're interrupted. The sound of a gasp. Lyran springs out of bed. He fell asleep with a book on his chest. Everybody up.
Up. What's
Okay.
happening?
Trying to calm himself with a smile, he slowly closes the book on his lap. You notice his hands are shaking profusely. He sets it down. They're here.
It's time.
Here?
No, they're
here?
No. They went straight for the castle. They outsmarted me. This doesn't make sense, but we still need to reach the castle.
As Galen walks over to the door. I'd hate to say I'm surprised, but here I am.
Okay, where would you have me? He searches the table for his weapon. A short sword.
You want us to take the stone to the people?
Look,
Through the people, to the castle.
you don't understand, Dorian. The rune, it's complete. That place is unbreakable. You just need to get in. Likely he's waiting for you. He hasn't activated it yet, but once you're in, you're in. The place is impenetrable if you want it to be. You, of all people, know that.
Yeah, all you old people know that. Places
Alright,
the arrow
Dorian,
back
well,
in the quiver.
Do we have any idea how many of them there are?
No, I just heard message of it. The Count, I'm nearly certain he'll have no problem dispatching them, but this means they must be
If they
here.
were going to the castle, they are prepared for the castle.
They don't know what the castle's capable of.
No, maybe
Hundreds of
not. But they are prepared to siege a castle.
Then we will simply have to avoid them.
Kai,
You
you
can
have
do
the
it.
That
stone?
behind them. I have the stone.
All right. Galen, you can get there first. Let's go. And he heads out the door. Galen, do you follow?
Galen, can you take Kai with you?
I look back, like, I mean, she's got kind of pudgy, but pretty sure Rage can carry her still.
Very well.
She will grab
Get that
the
stone
closest
to
piece
the
of food
castle.
and throw it at you.
Yeah,
Should we
he'll,
maybe like check things out first before we just fly in on there? Like,
Oh, we aren't
stealthily.
flying, Zipper. We're coming in behind.
I know. I'm just saying maybe we should get a lay of the land before we just run on in there.
That,
My
Okay.
hope is our
for any of that
compatriots here will
before.
get a lay of the land.
That's the safest place
Sounds
to
like we
be.
need to go now.
Yeah, if anything, rage can take you in. Galen,
Guy, do you
Kai,
have magic to send messages?
No.
All right. I could hope for the best. The two of you get to the castle. The three of us will make our way there. Thorn, Zipper, are the two of you ready for shenanigans, as they say?
I like
I believe
shenanigans. Let's go.
that is what we excel at.
Very well. I believe the goal is to get to the castle at all costs. However, if there is something in our way, we eliminate it. Sound good?
Fair enough.
Very well.
Let's do it.
And you, old man, what are you going to do?
my options are pretty limited. They're seeking me.
Well, clearly not, or else they would have come here.
Yeah, I'm confused. They know something I don't.
They do. So, perhaps you should take this time and find a safe place to go, yes?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Galen,
Good luck to you, old man.
I'll be with Mother, Galen.
I suspect we shan't see
But
you
let's-
again.
I kind of hope that's the case. Yeah.
You have good time with Mother.
yeah. Ken will clasp
Yeah,
him on the
don't-
shoulder as he walks out.
And as you're headed
Don't
out,
die.
he turns to get out of earshot of the rest, and he whispers to you, Galen, if the ritual fails, take the crystal. They can't locate it. Just take it and run. Yeah? Just fly away.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Galen
Oh.
would help Kai onto the back of the Drake, whose name is Rage.
Liren
I don't
will
know
see
who
you
any
three
of you are.
off.
I don't know how good you are, but in theory, we're the best that he's got. So, good luck to the lot of us, and I hope to see you tomorrow morning.
Sounds like you don't need luck,
Oh.
Dorian.
Yeah.
But
Let's get this started, shall we?
Let's go.
Kai,
As Galen helps Kai up on the back of Rage, he'll look to her and be like, "Are you ready?"
hopefully I don't have to call down any lightning. Rage didn't like that last time.
Don't hesitate if you do, please.
This is a lot different than fishing bodies out of the water.
Yeah. Hopefully there'll be none of that.
Here's to hoping.
You two take off. You arrive at the castle. It's dark. You get there long before the rest, actually. It's tall. It's menacing. It's gothic. Had you not already known by now, you would suspect it does belong to somebody. Without a beating heart, perhaps. It looks ancient, but well preserved. The lights are on all throughout. Except there's some blood on the ground. Quite a lot. Dead sheep as well. As you fly, Galen, where do you take Rage? Into the castle? In front? Perhaps somewhere else?
Is there a courtyard, like, in the inner walls?
There is. You brave enough to land right inside?
Yeah, I mean, why not? That's the goal.
Right. Well, long before the rest arrive, as soon as you sweep in, first thing you see, perhaps you wish not to see something like this after everything you've heard about the strength of this castle. The courtyard has a wall that's destroyed. This place is supposed to be indestructible, and yet it's already leaking, isn't it? Who did it? Well, as you look ahead, 1, 2, 3 ogres tearing this place apart in the courtyard. Trees toppled, a fountain ripped apart. They're banging on a door to get in before they turn to look at you. What do you do?
Galen will look back to Kai. Like, now's your time to get off if you don't like the ride.
Bet I could kill them before you do.
100 gold says you're wrong.
All right.
Ready?
Let's
Set. Galen will immediately take off on Rage towards the ogres, or jump off of Rage.
Yeah.
He takes off towards the ogres.
Excellent. And that will be initiative as you arrive in this courtyard. You both land at the same time. Galen, you're top of initiative. Let's see. Right ahead of you. They're both bashing holes in what looks like a dining room beyond in the courtyard. They've turned around. They're glaring at you. What do you do?
Well, Galen will. Sorry. Galen will go ahead and attack the number 1.
Okay. It's a critical hit.
Oh, is he not a tracker? Oh, cool. Yeah. This is going to be fun. One, 2, 3. It's that one. And then he will use his next 2 turns to so immediately as Rage is kind of continuing on charging at him, He whispers a few words, and suddenly similar markings flow all over Rage's body compared to Galen's as he starts to grow, as he casts Enlarge Companion. And Rage becomes a large creature.
Flying overhead. They see it. Do you do anything else?
Rage gets to attack on my turn as well. He gets to either attack or move once on my turn. So I guess he's closing the distance.
Yep. That will be him dropping in. Kai, you're next.
Yeah, so the air around Kai will sort of pick up as she looks towards the ogre number 2, and the ground around him will start to shake and crumble and then completely liquefy, turning into mud as she casts Transmute Rock to Mud. And it makes it greater difficult terrain. He'll have to swim through it.
Excellent. He starts to sink into the mud. You can hear the stones start to sink as well.
Perfect.
The wall
Then
starts to
one
crumble
more
just a little bit. What else do you do?
Step back behind Rage.
Excellent. The first ogre moves in straight towards you, Galen. Swinging an axe. About the size of Rage's wing. The first swing is a critical miss. The weapon drops as he twists and trips. You notice his intestines have actually spilled out. He tore a muscle. There had also been a puncture there. But he gets up. He moves in a desperate attempt to bite you. A miss as well. These creatures, they were a threat to you once upon a time, but now they just seem pathetic, don't they? The next one attempts to swim. It's an athletics check. He moves out. He doesn't know who did it, though. He just sees Galen. So Galen, he attacks. A hit. You're pierced with the swing of an axe. 20 damage. And then another. A hit as well. 2 for 2. Galen, you're bleeding. Kind of a lot, but it is your turn now. What do you do?
All right. So where does Rage sit on the initiative?
He moves with you, right? Correct? So on your initiative?
Well, he gets an extra action on my turn. But I don't know if he has like his own separate. Okay.
No, he just gets his action during your turn. Yep.
All right. Well, then Galen will move back once, twice. If I can. That's Rage. Where's Galen? There it is. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm in the wrong thing. Womp womp. So Galen will move back.
The one to the right of you is very weak.
And he will fire a shoot an arrow at the one at the right. Sorry, I am not prepared.
That one is nearly crawling. Using an axe as a support. There's a trail of blood. You have a
Oof.
critical hit.
Yeah.
That's guaranteed fatal. Describe what you do here.
So as Galen kind of is falling back in a flourish of movements, he kind of like twists as he jumps for further from rage, and as he's spinning around, he lets the arrow fly, and it just kind of, as rage moves its wing up, it flies right underneath and into the skull of the one that's trying to crawl with the axe out. As he lands, he just kind of looks towards Kai, and he's like, "That's 100 gold."
There's one left.
You do see one crawling towards you.
The second one. So Galen will spend the time to the next 2 turns to cast armor on himself, and then Rage will utilize, which I think you have to do it, or can I? He'll use caustic mucus on the one that's crawling.
All right.
It's a reflex DC.
Yep.
Reflex save.
It fails. A burst of acid coating. The ogre screams in pain. Acid all over his back, the sizzling, boiling, you can hear popping. But he still moves towards you. Do you have any other actions?
That's all I got. No, that's all I got.
All right. Kai, there is one left. What do you do?
Kai looks confused. She thought all this would be a lot harder from what Galen's father was describing. But she will step forward out from behind Rage and pull the trident off of her back. And we'll just try to put this thing out of its misery. Maybe.
Oh, yeah, 27 is a hit.
Okay. Oh, I messed that up.
The trident embeds in his shoulder. He screams. He reaches to pull it out, perhaps to use it against you, but by the time he even does, it disappears, and it's returned in your grip. You have 2 actions left. What do you do?
Don't get why this thing just won't die. Second. Let it again.
That's a hit as well. That's a critical hit.
Oh. That's nice. Guessing. Do I roll that twice then? Or just double it?
Just hold shift and drag your
Double.
damage dice over. Oh, okay. Never mind. Sorry.
Between the acid, the trident, and the mud, this thing's barely moving, but it's moving. It's choking on some combination of saliva and bloody mucus, but yet it crawls towards you still. It sees you from underneath the wyvern, your legs, and it just moves in. I believe you have an action left. What do you do?
See if I can finally put it out of its misery. It's wrong dice. Yes.
That's lethal damage. Describe what you do.
She looks almost regretful as she just will take her trident and step forward and just embed it down into its neck, finally killing this thing. And we'll look at Galen. Why was your father so worried about these?
I'm fairly sure these aren't the promise guard that he was talking about.
Let's see if our friends ran into them then.
Speaking of your friends, moments later, you do finally arrive at the southern-facing gate of this castle. Two ogres are walking along the bridge. They're laughing about something. You see a silhouette of a man somewhere high up in this small estate, leaning on a tower, not responding to these ogres. You can tell by the sound of the calamity within there had been a pillaging. They're leaving. Some of them, they're carrying silver goblets, flatterware, treasure. What do you guys do? They're headed towards you, but they don't see you yet.
The man in the window. Is that your father? Dorian?
I believe so, yes. Likely, anyway.
These things get closer, though.
There is like foliage on either side of us. Is that right? Or is that just grass?
So you're looking at the castle north of you, and they're headed down the road south, away from the castle, towards the path you're on. You imagine you have seconds before they realize you're there. Do you get the jump on them, or do you hide?
I look to Dorian. It's his father's house, so.
Are you worried about them? I'm not.
Not particularly, but I try not to kill things if I don't have to.
I don't care. I'll
I
kill
know.
him.
Oh. I pull out a crossbow from within, tucked in with my hair, and just have it ready.
They see you, and they begin to charge. Thorn, you are first in initiative.
Of course.
Go ahead.
Well, need my glasses. Ugh, can't see anything. Okay. So okay, this is gonna be interesting. I apologize. I can't see the map very well. There we go. They're charging. They're what? 60 feet away.
About, yeah.
I'll cast Tanglefoot. Oh no, wait. I can't cast Tanglefoot. It's too far. No, I'm gonna hold my action. Let my dear friend get her fill of action.
Mm.
That'd
All
be-
right. Yeah, Zipper, that's you then. For initiative.
Can I use sneak attack in this? Or
Yeah,
surprise
you can.
attack, rather?
Yes, you can. They haven't acted yet. Before they take their first step, you have to jump on them. They're flat-footed.
Awesome. I don't know how I did that in here, but I'm going to.
Yeah, I've got you. You're just gonna attack with your bow, you think?
Yeah, that's probably the quickest thing to do and the least costly. So yeah, I'll do that.
All right. For the nearest one.
Yeah.
30 hits. I'll roll damage. What about your next two? Are you going to make the same attack?
Yeah, I think so. I don't think I'm gonna waste anything on these guys.
Right. A hit as well. And of the third shot, a hit as well. That is 3 sneak attacks. The boss, it looks like, the largest. She's pelted with 3 arrows before she even sees her enemy. She's in a frenzy. But aside of it, it might not be enough. She's already bleeding profusely. Yet she does stand. Dorian, it's your turn.
Dorian sort of stands there, not really much concern on his face, as he pulls out an arrow. Anyone nearby can see it. As he pulls out the arrow, sort of a glittering sort of wave crosses over it as he puts it into his crossbow and draws it back. And I'm going to make the attack. So you see Dorian pull the bow up, aiming at the creature, and then immediately point it down. As the arrow fires off, it hits the ground, causing a stir of gravel and rubble to come up before ricocheting upward, and the gravel just follows right behind it.
Mm-hmm.
As
29 is a hit.
the dust and road continue to just start get picked up by the arrows, it passes right over it as if drawn up into some sort of wave before everything hits at the creature. Initially doing that. Then that.
She falls to her knees and then lands face first in the blood-soaked dirt. There's sheep around.
I
They're all
told you.
dead.
I told you. I'm the best.
Thankfully,
one.
we are on each other's side.
The next one
Softened her up.
charges straight for Dorian. Thorn, I believe you have a prepared action to fire. Is that correct?
No, I didn't prepare anything. I was just kind of like, I could. No, let them have their fun.
Yeah. This charge, Zipper, this great big beast moves towards you, but in a rage, he plants a hammer. You have no issue dodging it. Galen, Kai. On the roof. It is slanted. You wouldn't expect to see someone there, and yet you do. A handsome man with pale skin. Long black hair, swept back. Fine clothes. He's holding on to a railing off to the side, but he's smiling at you. And then just casually observing the ruins of what you would imagine to be his estate that has been pillaged. What do you guys do?
Is anybody immediately coming for us or anything?
Looks like the threat is managed.
And is he within like earshot? Like we can yell to him?
Yeah. About 30 feet away.
Galen will just kind of look up and be like, "You're Victor, I presume."
Ah, yes, I am.
Right.
You are Galen.
That is correct. We've been tasked to bring you an object. May we come inside?
The doors to the dining hall. Below him, in front of you, they just swing open. Little torches light, as if it were presenting something nice, but inside is a ruined kitchen. This place was wrecked by these ogres. You don't know a lot about vampires, but you imagine they wouldn't have an issue with things like this. It's surprising that he'd let this happen. But if you choose to go in, it's quite warm inside. We will get back to that. South. Thorn, you have initiative. This ogre has attacked Zipper.
Yes, and that was his fatal mistake. And so I will shoot a crossbow bolt at him.
Excellent. It's a hit.
And I'll just do that 3 times.
Barrage. Bolts knock. Load. Loose. By the third, you might not even have realized. He was already dead. Zipper, you may make a reflex save. I'll roll it for you as the body falls over you. You do manage to roll out just in time. The threat for now
And make
seems...
a little squeak.
Yeah. It's managed. Sitting before you. The castle, its doors swing open, revealing that warm light glowing from within again.
I run straight for it.
Do you enter?
Dorian just sighs and goes and retrieves the arrow from... first of all, he walks by the one closest to him, takes out a dagger and slices along the neck. Checks to see if it happens to have any ass pennies. And then he repeats the same process with the other ogre, where he slices his dagger along the neck and checks it for any ass pennies before finally going inside.
Yeah. You'd know where to find your father at a time like this. But you are surprised he'd let his keep fall to disarray. The ogres, they stomped all throughout, and every room you check has just been obliterated. Yet the walls stand, at least most of them. You know you can meet him in the dining room, that hall. He'd be eating breakfast right now.
Head in that direction.
Kai and Galen are already there. You see through the doors. Rage the Drake sits in the courtyard. As you lot arrive on the south end of the dining hall, your father, the vampire, Victor, he sits at the head. Hello, my son.
Doesn't even answer.
Oh, well, I'm glad I'm not the only one with a family reunion tonight.
I see you've been
You
brought
have
here for a mission.
you have neglected the housekeeping. Perhaps you should pay them.
This promised guard, they're clever. More than I expected. Local
Oh, were you
ogres.
outsmarted?
I
By
was a
me,
step
that's
ahead. I
human.
let them in. No. Let them think they've won. Lest they win the final fight.
Of course you did.
I have servants. Well, I'll get more. You notice there are corpses about, too. There is a crystal, yes? He scans the room before locking eyes on Kai.
She just stares back, and actually will take a step backwards away from him.
This is what we're here for, right?
Dorian will walk up to Kai and hold out his hand as if asking for the box. I will take it to him.
She will look towards Galen. Do you trust your father's word?
Yes.
She looks like she wishes you had said no, but she will hand it to Dorian.
Dorian will walk over by his father and just slide the box on over. Your crystal. Apparently you are supposed to enchant it for protection.
He looks at Galen. Galen, you're still wearing your mask?
Yeah.
You've inherited a great face, Galen. You hide it. Come.
It's not all it's cracked up to be.
Yeah. Is it? The rapping of his sharpened nails on the table causes the box to levitate, and it moves along the table southward to a laboratory of sorts, up in a tower. You'll come.
How long will this
Dorian.
ritual take you?
Aye. An hour? We have time. I will
Do we?
expedite. If you are so concerned, I have something you can use. Come. And he heads south, 2 rooms over, and then up this winding stairs, up the tower. Do you all follow?
Dorian does.
Thorn does.
Galen did.
I follow Thorn, but I'm whispering to her as we travel.
There
Just
is a
being
great-
like, what?
I'll explain.
Stay
This crystal, the eye, as they call it. And then suddenly you see through the window, there's a light, a low flash coming in through one of the small windows up this winding stone staircase, and his eyes widen. No. We
Have guests?
have not one yet, my son. This is an opportunity for the weapon. Come. And suddenly he's walking, still walking, but about twice as fast. As you follow 2 sets of wines, you're up 2 floors. He makes his way out to a patio. It
Thorn
overlooks
is
the main
carrying
entrance.
Zipper to make sure that she can keep up.
The one
You're
came
surrounded
in.
by tall folks.
Sitting on this patio. It's decrepit, it's old, dusty. All except for one thing, a crossbow. Except you'd like to call it a crossbow, it's not. It's massive. It's bolted into the castle floor.
A
Sitting above it,
ballista?
but there's no ammunition. You see a series of cranks along the side for aiming, and then 2 handles. You see. My dear Liren, he was prepared to a degree. Some foresight. He expected this. If they're coming, this will help us. I have a few tricks up my sleeve. Up. There they are. Look. Get perception checks as you guys look out into the dark horizon. You see a faint light glowing far off in the distance. I've got an 18, I've got a 30, I've got a 35 from Galen. Galen, you see it.
I see everything.
You see something as you're looking off in the distance. I just messaged you. You're the first one to notice. The vampire, he's already demonstrating how to turn this thing, how to maneuver it. It was pointed towards the ground. It looks like he didn't use it on the intruders. He just let them waltz right in. But Galen, you know what you see out there. Heard stories about it, but never seen one in person. Go ahead.
That's new.
Mhm.
You sure this thing's going to be able to take it down?
Who here is the best shot?
Me.
Yeah. No, it's totally
Tension.
Dorian.
Would you say so? He looks at Thorn, Zipper.
I'm a pretty good shot.
I have multifaceted skills. I am not, shall we say, I am not solely trained in the bow. Dorian may have this one.
Dear son, please do not miss. Yes, there's a small lens, a scope of sorts, and a place to kneel in front of this thing.
Dorian does so.
Your father heads off, and he returns with a magical bolt, blue at the tip, glowing. There's some sort of profound energy. You can look through the scope.
Yeah, Dorian takes the knee and aims.
This will be as if you were firing a ranged weapon.
All right.
Make me an attack roll. You do have a hero point.
I'll keep that in mind. Oh, yeah.
Flying through the air until it vanishes. Suddenly, that small, faint, glowing light off in the distance, moving towards the farm, explodes. And whatever it is, fades off. Behind the tree line, you see another boom over towards the farm. We are not out of the woods yet. I will prepare the ritual. Stay vigilant, keep watch. He moves inside up the stairs. What do
Where
you
was
guys
the
do?
lab that he'd be doing this compared to where we're at?
Up at the top of the tower.
Oh, fucking course. All right.
Where else
You
would
could go if
put a
you'd like.
lab?
They'll need somebody else to keep watch.
Well, you asked what we were doing. I, upon seeing something coming, I cast Vital Beacon upon myself.
All right. Minutes pass.
If anyone is hurt, come to see me.
Galen will walk over. What's up?
I hold out
Do
my
you
hand.
heal the dead?
I don't know if my healing would hurt you or help you.
Likely hurt.
Galen will take her hand.
Okay. So that is also pronouns are they. Just reminder. Okay, so it's 4d10. For some reason, it's not populating on Fantasy Grounds, so. So 13 points back to you.
All right.
How high up are we?
Yeah, about 2 stories.
So, and Kai can see where the wall was breached.
Yeah. Yeah, Kai can see it.
So she during this time will climb down the wall and sort of touch the ground near where the wall was breached, and again this rumbling occurs as the ground splits apart and these thorns erupt from the ground and just sort of crisscross themselves, reforming into this sort of wall of thorns where that opening was.
As you do it, you see something off in the distance,
Oh no.
like a glowing eye, looking at you, but the vision is obscured as it closes. What do you do?
She will keep looking to try and get a better view of what it was.
Yeah. You imagine you'd have
Perception.
to climb the wall or head back up to get a look because now the wall is sealed.
It's true. No, she'll go back up.
Yeah.
Better to be up
And as you're headed
higher.
back up, who's still on the front balcony?
Doran.
Galen's
I'm
here.
still there.
Thorn.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, it's quite a while. There's not a lot. It's a strange silence. You see a small pillar of smoke rising from around where the farm is, off in the distance.
what was it that you
Galen,
shot?
They are called airships.
Did it?
I
Flying
see.
boats.
Okay.
And so it fell.
Because I hit it.
Did it fall on anything?
Near the farm.
Galen, do you do anything? Do you wait?
I guess he would go up towards where the lab is, just to kind of be around where the crystal's at.
Yeah. You see Victor is hard at work in his laboratory. He's preparing a ritual. A series of runes he's stacking in a box, carefully placing stones and casting an incantation. As it forms a box that just slowly builds higher and higher. The crystal's off to the side, but it's connected to this somehow. He isn't speaking, except in Necrol. Dorian, Thorn, Zipper. Breaking through the tree line. Coming out. 2 women. You recognize neither of them. The first one is covering her face in a hood and a mask. The second, far more confident. She arrives, calls out. She's holding the hand of this hooded woman behind her. You can give up the crystal now,
Okay.
and this is over.
Every time.
She's looking at you, Dorian.
We're never going to give it up.
Sorry, are you here to tell something I don't understand?
I'll have you know you stand absolutely no chance.
Oh, yes, of course.
You'll die one
I
by
don't
one.
want whatever you're telling. Thank you. Go away.
All right. I'll leave you be. I'll let her take it from here, and she'll pull this hooded woman towards the path as she heads towards you. Take care of them, Hysteria. I'll be back. I need to visit the farm.
Fucking
And with
know
that,
it.
we're going to cut to break and introduce a guest. I say it'd be about 10 minutes. But good luck to all of you. I love you. We'll be right back.
We're so screwed.
Oh no.
So fuck.
And you're good.
All right, welcome back. We have just introduced our character, Hysteria, reprising the role of being an absolute menace. Hello, Jen.
Hello.
I guess we just didn't get
Yeah.
right. You arrive in the clearing. You're facing a castle. There is a patio, and some of your targets are standing right there. You're about 50 feet away. Do you wish to say anything to them?
Yes. If I can see the map, please, Ian, that would be fantastic.
Yes.
All right. So I feel like she would kind of for those who do not know what hysteria looks like, she is a Strix. She has very bird-like features, but has obviously undergone a lot of self-mutilation. And her outfit is many spikes and chains. Her wings, most pointedly, have been severed, and on her back, the flesh is pulled away and held apart by spikes and other assorted things to specifically expose the joint structure. It makes a sickening clicking noise periodically as they can still move slightly, and you can tell that that sensation would just be the utmost agony. Just by looking at her, you feel unsettled. There is also, you can feel just this aura of evil emanating from her. And it's almost like the air around her feels thick with despair and pain and torment. So she would, I suppose, look at Vaz and then just sort of lazily look at them and just say, well, who would like to play a little game?
Fireball to the face.
Dorian doesn't answer, is just preparing.
Yeah. Well,
are you launching a spell?
well, so you have
I was
initiative.
thinking about it.
Oh, I do?
Technically,
Oh, I do.
combat hasn't started yet. Well, Hysteria, you have initiative. So technically, combat hasn't
Yes.
started yet.
Mhm.
You don't have any reason to consider maybe combat hasn't started yet. You do have a chance to act. You could
Okay.
also just prepare an action
All
in the
right.
event that somebody attacks you.
Yeah, I need to see what some of my things do again, because
Yeah.
I forgot.
And you could also walk towards them.
I do want to walk towards them. So what is the party makeup like? I see.
So you see 3
Yeah.
people on that balcony.
Mhm.
A gnome, 2 humanoids. The person you expected to be here isn't here,
Mhm.
but he's got guards or something.
Can she see me over the rail? I'm pretty small.
Does anybody look hurt, or are they all like pretty full up?
Yeah, you can't tell from here. They look fine as far as you can tell.
Okay. Let me see.
It's also a good 75 feet
Yeah.
between you and them.
Okay. All right. I'm going to. How many feet? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. All right. I think. What do I want to do? Ooh, let's do that one. I'm going to attack Thorn, I think, because you're in the middle. I'm going to use Crisis of Faith.
That's really funny.
It is not letting me roll it. Or, I don't know. Ian, can you do it?
Yeah.
Cool.
Thorn, make me a will save.
I'm re-rolling that. I'm hero pointing that.
All right. Fail.
Of course it is. All right.
$20 points of damage.
Mm-hmm.
Hysteria, describe what happens.
All right, let me find it again. There it is. Okay, so basically, she just looks directly at you and says, if you expect your God to save you, there you will be found wanting. You should surrender now. And then you feel basically like your very spirituality is being assaulted as doubt overwhelms your consciousness right now, causing extensive pain and torment just from this overwhelming force of agonizing evil.
Mm-hmm. So Thorn reaches forward on the banister and holds themselves up and looks directly at Hysteria and says, "Lucky for me, I put my faith in myself and no God. And if it's my turn, I know what I want to do."
Ooh, this will
Dorian.
be more fun than she told me.
With that,
Dorian's firing a gigantic crossbow.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Just use the same attack roll as before?
yep.
I didn't even make it?
Wait. 38 is a hit. Roll damage.
I don't know what the damage of a ballista is.
So that's going to be that
A
highest
magic
attack
bullet.
that you had as an archer, but instead of telekinetic projectile, you'll be using a lightning bolt.
Oh. What level?
It's 5d12 electricity damage.
Oh,
That's fair.
Oh, whoops. I rolled the wrong thing anyway. 37 points of electricity, in addition to the actual bolt itself, so you can go ahead and... Plus 18. It's an
With a
explosion,
1%
creates a cloud,
lead.
and it's a cloud she's still standing in after it disperses. It's hurt her, but something like that would have felled an ogre instantly. Yet she stands. For your bow attack, is that a full round action for the spell combined with the strike? Because it will work for
Yes.
that.
Then yes.
All right. Galen, you see this out the window in the laboratory where the vampire works. Victor, we are running out of time. Bring this. And he smacks the plate of runes stacked up as a giant square, and suddenly it solidifies into a single gem. It's like a hollow cube with runes all about it. Bring this to the wall. Activate it. It will protect all of you.
Galen will go and do that.
As you head down the stairs, you do hear the violence, the calamity that's occurring. And as you make your way down the hallway, flashes of light leading through. Suddenly, though, behind where they went out to the porch, there is a hallway. There's a pedestal in the middle of the hallway with a square slot, a perfect fit for this rune, this ornamental piece. Like it would fit just on top of it. What do you do?
I put it in the spot that it looks like it to be fit in.
With it slowly sinks as the air falls out of it. And with a click, the keep rumbles. The ground shakes. Suddenly, along that little mini moat, there's a cracking sound. A little spark, a bit of static that's tracing along wildly. Like hairs prancing, but it's magical. You see the light beaming up, and then suddenly a wall begins to form. A barrier. It gets much darker within this castle. Great blue light beaming up just as Hysteria approaches. A wall. It looks almost like a wall of force. It surrounds this keep. Galen, you still have 2 actions. You're near the porch. But you also see out the other window Rage. He's sitting in the courtyard. He's waited for you. What do you do?
I let Rage sit there for now, as I guess would make my way back upstairs to the others.
So you're on the same level. So 1 action would be more than enough to make your way out to that porch if you would like to. That balcony.
He'll stay
Or you can
behind
meet,
cover. Like he's not gonna present himself as a target.
Right. Excellent. Kai, you've made your way in. You were actually headed up the stairs. You heard from above, another floor up. Galen descended. And that's when you saw out a window yourself that light pooling in of this wall assembling, fortifying this old castle. You were headed to investigate something, but now it just kind of seems pointless, doesn't it? What do you do?
Yeah, she will continue up to where the rest of her companions are. After hearing probably that crack of lightning from the ballista, something else is happening that she doesn't know.
And the gnome.
Yeah, I've been trying to figure out what to do. I don't know if we can even do anything. Can we fire out from here? Do we know what that wall does?
Don't know. No.
Mm. I am going to. I don't want to do anything that'll get us hurt. I'm going to do with minor. Remember. I think I'm just going to wait and see what happens with that wall. So I'm going to kind of step back from the edge there.
Thorn.
So the wall is now obscuring Hysteria from us, correct?
Yeah. Between you two.
Well, I am going to touch myself and use the second charge of Vital Beacon. Because that really hurt. Yeah. So that is
yes, you do.
4d8.
Do I get my reaction yet?
For this you do, yes.
Okay. So, as soon as you feel that healing light when you touch yourself, you get whammied with something.
We'll save
naughty.
first.
Yes.
Potentially. You still do heal. So the healing first.
So let me do the heal first. So I heal myself 29 points, so that'll put me back at normal.
Yeah.
Okay, then I do a will save.
Yep.
29.
It fails. Your mind again is attacked.
I sink to my knees and drop my crossbow and just hold my head for a moment.
From
trying really hard not to yell.
From across the space, you will just hear, "There will be none of that now."
That brings us back to you, Hysteria.
Okay. So there is a wall between me and them?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me think. All right. So, and I cannot see them anymore, or is it just force?
It's occluded. You can't see Galen or Kai, but you can see the ones on the porch.
Okay.
You can make them out.
So, Dorian, Thorn, and Zipper?
Yep.
Okay. Let me think. I am then going to cast Silence on Thorn.
All right. Let's see.
And then probably
Silence
move up
is
a
a
little bit.
touch range action.
Oh,
You
is
won't be
it?
able to
Okay,
cast.
then never mind.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. What do I want to do then? Because I have naughty things I can do, but... all right. You... All right.
You know this is a physical barrier, so things like lances or rays won't work, but...
Okay.
I can think of one you do have, though.
Yeah? Can you DM me? Because I have ideas, but I don't know if we want to escalate there yet. Oh, well,
Yeah,
okay.
you could just talk, actually. You don't have a lot of leeway here. But you can hear them, and they can hear you.
All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4. I will move here. And I feel like, she is slightly, I guess, singed from the lightning bolt.
Yeah.
And, if anything, when she was hit by it, it just seemed to make her more excited. So she would look directly at Dorian and say, "The weak among you are already beginning to fall." And with that, I'm going to hit Zipper with Spirit Blast.
Hysteria, make a fortitude save.
Okay.
The blast pulses back at you. This spell, you thought it to be a wall of force. It's not. There's something else to it here. Some dark magic.
I'm sorry. What were you saying? I couldn't quite hear you. Through the bullshit that kept coming out of your mouth.
I'm gonna.
This does give you a moment to speak, though. Yeah, go ahead.
It is so nice that you're so brave behind this wall. And walls do not last forever, and there's so many ways around them. But I'll tell you what, you don't all have to die here, really. I mean, when it gets down to it, what does it matter to any of you what happens here? It's a crystal. Who cares? Is it worth giving your life for? Because I will make this promise for you. You won't die quickly.
So we'll live for a while.
Is this crystal
then, huh?
willing to kill us for?
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
Is this crystal willing to kill us for?
You can. I will. Let's see. You can. I will let one of you live. You can pick who dies.
So it is willing to kill us over, is what you're saying.
I choose you. I choose you. You die. We live.
I'm sorry. It's just not going to happen.
Well, I don't know about that.
Good to know. We'll think about your offer and we'll get back to you a few hours maybe. Give us a moment.
Oh.
Can we
Victor
can we talk to
turns
each
the
other
corner into
quietly
Walfred.
enough that she can't hear us? Or is
Yeah,
she close
Victor
enough
will
that that's
and move away from the balcony. The wall will
that's
hold we
probably a
have
good
time.
I'm gonna move away
Are
from
you
the
all right,
balcony
Thorn?
into the hall.
Let's go. He urges you further in.
Thorn's having a bit of trouble.
I lend Thorn my arm. Or my shoulder, I guess.
She
Do you
they
make it, Thorn?
they
Are you all right?
make
You will see across, she just seems completely content, and will start to chant quietly in a language that you can't quite understand, as chains begin to like swirl around her, seemingly from nothing.
And arriving,
Man, she would have done great in the circus.
yeah, you do all notice later on the forest by the farm seems to be afire. Coming out of the tree line to greet Hysteria. About 12 feet tall, a human, screaming, metal implants. You count at least 7 of them attaching out of his limbs and his back, where his face would be a skull cap, literally hugging his skulls, needles where his eyes should be. This machine carries him over, a hulking monstrosity. But his physical form, what's left of it, emaciated. He approaches Hysteria, looking at the castle, but just whispering to Hysteria. What do you guys do?
Regroup, guys.
Yeah.
This doesn't
Yeah,
look
Doran
good.
will look at Victor. So, what is the plan now?
We are still on track. The wall, they cannot penetrate it.
You see,
My spell, I can.
now here's the thing. The old man was very convinced that a few thugs would be coming to visit here, coming after that stone. And here we have at least one very impressive woman looking to tear her way through with chains. So, I'm going to assume that your wall is not going to last. So I need you to tell me, how long will it last?
He scoffs at you. I need more time. If we cannot complete the ritual, the only option is to hope they cannot track it. If they find fragment, dust, fingerprints, they will track the crystal. But if we destroy the keep, they might not.
Do you have a way
We
to
need a
destroy
way
this
to
key?
get the crystal. My child, I always knew my time would come. Eventually. The humans of Ustalav, they would come pillaging, pitchforks in hand. And if I knew I was going out, I'd take them out with me.
All right. How long
I
does the
sit
ritual take? A
on the
few
great.
hours.
I can rush it. I'll be hasty.
All right. Worst case scenario,
If
less than a few hours we have. Kai,
we need a
where are you?
way. We need a way to extract the crystal. If I fail,
Yeah,
it needs
that's
to
what I'm
leave this
working on.
place. Okay.
Galen has the best way out of here with his drake.
And with a
Galen, is
breath,
Kai
he
a
just heads
competent
straight back to
wizard?
his
Is that what
laboratory.
she is?
I'm sorry, say one more time. 2.42.
Is Kai a competent wizard? Is that what she is?
Sorceress.
Sorceress. Oh, sorry. I didn't see you, Kai. My apologies. Those two, I would say, are our plan Z.
I have spells that can hinder them, but I can't if she hits me like that again.
So what is our
Stay hidden.
plan A?
Plan A is the wall will
What-
hold, in which case we don't have too much to worry about. Plan B is
And then
they're going to start trickling in, and at which point Plan B through Y is just trying to survive.
right.
Plan
Okay.
Z, everybody for themselves.
Okay. Well, good to know.
At the very least, if we have any true desire to protect that crystal, then Zipper, you, myself, and Thorn, we're the last ones here.
Yeah, that's what it's looking like.
So,
hear
if you want to
screams.
run, now's the time.
Where are the screams coming from?
A human in agony. If you choose to look out a window, hysteria. Apparently, there was a survivor of the servants that were killed by the ogres. One still lives, and boy, does he regret it. Some dark performance there, as hysteria finds the key to all the right nerve endings. This seems to heal her,
Victor?
strengthen her. Calling up from his laboratory a floor up. Ah!
Did any of your servants know how to get through your wall?
Floating down the stairs. Some fled. They were killed by the ogres.
If one happened to
He sees what-
survive and happened to know how to get through this wall and were tortured for the information, what would they know?
Very little.
All right.
My concern is if one managed to escape, that means there are holes in the wall.
Fantastic.
They're not airtight. Tries to maintain his composure. You notice rising out of the moat little chains with spikes at the end, just levitating up. At least where you can see. It's darker than ever outside. Steria continues this ritual, this meditation.
All right. How many entrances to this main area do you have, Victor?
We have, I can think of, God, 3.
3.
Front, 2 in courtyard. Yeah. There's a tear. We are running out of time.
Oh, do your thing.
Zipper.
All right, everyone. We have 3 doors to protect. How do you think we should do this?
Zipper has snares. I can set a trap.
Yeah.
They will be waiting for us.
Can you clear it quickly?
What was that?
Can you clear it quickly? We need your head in the game. Clear it.
Ah.
I have no way to clear this. I am not a healer.
Victor points a finger and a downturned palm towards Galen. Points it towards him as he disappears into a room.
Galen
Wish to
would
speak to
follow.
you. Hysteria, describe what you're doing.
So let's see. I feel like at this point, she is, again in that full, just that religious fervor of, just as she is calling forth to, these, the Midnight Lord. Again, chains continue to swirl and spike, and like they cut at her, they cut at the air around her, like she is bleeding, but doesn't seem to care. And if anything, again, is seemingly more excited by it. As there can also, you can kind of hear and feel the screams of those that she's tormented and tortured, in this sort of mixture of agony and ecstasy, like permeating around her. She is also starting to increase in size.
Suddenly those chains latch onto the walls. And then the bases where they meet in the river, they just rapidly move, suddenly tearing it with a shearing direction. You notice now there was a crack, but it starts to rip open slowly. Galen has moved to the laboratory with Victor. Dorian, did you stand at the gate?
Why is that happening?
I'm gonna roll initiative again.
Come on, dude.
Dorian's not directly.
Dorian, you're first at this wall. Are you? You're not at the. Are you at the?
He's within
yet?
line of sight, so if someone comes through, he's going to be able to shoot it.
I'll watch you later.
Got it. The walls fall. Do you do it?
Does something come through?
As these chains. Well, these chains, they rip this wall to pieces, and suddenly the light goes out. This castle's mundane again. And Hysteria is on the other side, about 50 feet away, it seems.
Sure. She'll get a hit.
Go ahead.
Maybe.
Okay.
Did I spend a hero point? I can't remember.
No,
I'll spend a
it's
hero
only one
point.
person's
Yeah, you
hero point.
Not right now.
Not in a hurry.
Mario here.
Say Libby.
Galen,
Me.
you're in the lab. You know what you have to do.
Right.
Not cheating, Skittles.
He does.
Not cheating.
All right.
I already.
But as you go, it's going to take some time.
I even got through it.
Walking along the hall, you bump into Kai. Kai, how are you doing right now?
She looks back at Galen as he enters. Does he look any different? Or worried?
How does Galen look right now?
You can't see. His mask is firmly in place and his hood is pulled down.
Right. Then she will look back towards the battlements, whatever's going on. You're going to take the stone and fly if we don't win this, right?
That's the plan.
Okay. No hero shit this time.
He'll cup her on the shoulder, rather hard. He's like, one thing I've always taught my students is heroics don't win fights.
She can't get that stone.
Right.
Okay.
Try not to die.
Usually the plan. If I do, don't turn back.
Yeah.
Hysteria.
Mm-hmm.
You still have 3 8-level spells.
I do. So, I think. Ooh, that is a fun thing.
Didn't we
Okay,
move inside?
At least
Dorian moved
Dorian
back out.
did.
I don't know. You guys are wherever you would like to be. You had plenty of time. Go wherever you'd like.
Yeah, I was inside.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, so first of all, is the servant on the field or is it gone forward? The big thing.
The servant, the
The
one that you've been torturing?
No. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
Yes, your friend there. Yeah, he had been circling the place. Just marching around, muttering to himself. But he returned to you.
She would look at it with the hole that she's opened up in the thing and just say, "The way's clear." And then I'd look at Dorian and cast a spiritual epidemic. Want to see if your will is as strong as your words are. And I'll move over here. Ooh.
Spiritual epidemic. So that would be a will save to.
Will save. Yes.
Now, who did you cast that to?
Dorian.
The will save fails.
No way.
Nope.
Will save of 25?
Oh,
Yeah, there's no way that
Oh, I see.
saved.
You are
Uh,
enfeebled
so-
2 and stupefied 2.
Okay.
so basically, like, as she says that, again, you just feel that weight of just pure despair crushing your consciousness, just from like the pressure of her faith.
And you move closer, I presume?
Yes,
For an
I already
action?
did.
Okay. Kai,
Yeah.
you see Galen headed to his Drake.
She gives one last look before turning back towards where the other three are. And there's this rumble of lightning as clouds begin to form above where Hysteria is and around her. And they seem to coalesce out of nowhere into like these dark storm clouds that will suddenly strike lightning down on her. It is a basic reflex save.
All right.
Okay. Yeah.
What's the name of the spell? Lightning Storm?
Lightning storm.
28. I think your DC is... Oh, that's a fail.
Wow. I mean, can I evil point it?
No. God. That's just sadism. 39 points of damage.
It might get
Ooh,
the construct too. It's a 5-foot burst radius.
Yeah.
And
it
since
does.
they're
and that thing-
outside, it's 2 clouds.
Excellent. Stairs quite hurt. That thing actually topples to the ground
Ooh.
and just gets up and looks at you. You see these 2 needles where his eye sockets would be. There's blood coming down. The charge probably blasted his eyes again. You will pay for that dearly.
In time, my love. You have to play first.
You have a move action if you wish to go anywhere, Kai. If not, Zipper, it is your turn.
Oh, did you see that? Wow. But I'm like,
You're muted.
You're inside. I imagine you can't even see Hysteria right now.
You're
And you're
muted,
muted.
Julie.
That was my bad. Sorry. I was going to do electric art, but if I can't actually see out the doorway or anything, obviously that's not going to work. Can I not? Can I take it back? I guess I could. Well, can I move like so that I can be in the doorway but not out there and see them?
Yeah. As you move down the hall, yeah, you would be able to see Hysteria from there. A level below.
Okay. And are they within 30 feet? Probably
No.
not. Okay.
They're not. You have an action left. You could move within 30 feet. If you're feeling brave, charging towards this thing. Might be the end of you, though.
I don't
just
know if
casually.
I'm feeling that brave. Yeah, but most
Yeah.
of my ranged attacks are 30 feet, so.
You have it is a ranged. It's based on ranged increments. You could take it. It would be at a penalty if you wish to attack with that bow. You can.
with a spell.
Oh, a spell. No. Yeah, you would have to approach for that.
Have to be within.
But your bow is
Okay.
probably your best bet.
All right, let's do that then. Why not? I do. Whoops.
I've got your
Oh,
attack.
I was gonna roll. I tried to do
First
it.
attack.
Sorry.
Oh no, you're fine. It is a miss. You have an action left.
Oof. Okay. I guess I'll just
She
try
likely
a
would
second
see you.
attack. What? It won't let me. No. Oh, there we go. Oh, poo.
A miss as well. Or rather, she dodges the attack.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna duck. Can I tuck back? Because I wasn't trying to get all the way out there in visible broad vision.
Yeah. Well, in order to make line of sight, you were there, but you do see Victor is across the hall. You see him in another room, and he's just shaking his head, like the mission is
It's like, don't do that
for naught.
Right.
He looks resigned, but he again curls his finger, asking you to speak with him.
Okay. Well, I'll move over there if I can.
Yeah. Thorn, what do you do?
So where am I? I closed the map. Sorry.
Are you on the balcony?
Or
were you inside?
I was brought inside.
All right. In the other room, you see Zipper moving to speak with Victor, owner of this keep.
Okay.
He's trying to convince her not to try to fight hysteria. This is for nothing. She's unstoppable. But we
Then
can
what
defeat
should we
her
do?
yet.
Just let her kill us?
No,
We can?
No. If we let her live, she will do this again. Every day. I've seen it. Her kind. Kuthanite. If she catches you, you will not even die. She will not allow it. We must lure her in. I will take care of the rest.
Is she susceptible to the divine?
She is susceptible to what I have left. I have a final trick. One Dorian does not know.
So how
Go
do we
to the
lure
courtyard.
her in?
Lead her in as far as you can.
Okay.
And when you're ready, whisper this word. He writes it down on a piece of paper that magically appears. And it will be complete. He sends it to both of you. I'm sure you can hear hysteria slowly approaching amidst all this.
I pick myself up, holding my staff, and say, "We have barely begun. We'll find a way. Come on, Zipper."
Okay, let's do it.
Dorian. Hysteria approaches just closer and closer.
Dorian post spell just looks at her. What are you trying to do something to me. You seem to have misunderstood if you were effective or not. You don't understand. Do you actually do anything? As he will take potion, granting himself haste, and immediately head back and up a wall using his boots of spider climb.
What else do you do?
I wonder what. I wonder.
He's going to
what will
continue going
break
up the
her.
wall to
Mhm.
put him even at further range. But the goal is to take a shot at. Is Hysteria the only target?
There is a massive creature beside her, but it doesn't seem nearly as powerful. It sort of bows to her, bends to her will. It is screaming in pain, but it seems empowered by it. It's quite close by.
All right. He'll go ahead and reaching into his quiver and using his Eldritch Archer ability of Magic Arrow to pull a spellcaster arrow out with a level 1 shocking grasp. And basically, this will simply add 1d12 electrical damage to the arrow shot. Oh, I don't have a target. I need a target.
Yeah. And then don't forget the enfeebled and stupefied.
Yeah, it's already added on my sheet.
Yeah. Where's Kai right now?
She is at the balcony, just in the doorway that goes, so that she could see Hysteria, because she's holding the spell still.
Is it possible
Hear the
to
lightning still rumbling.
No. We'll just do it. We'll just target Hysteria. We'll keep it simple.
Okay.
Kai, you do notice behind you, you see Rage is moving in a circle. Multiple circles around in the courtyard. That's what drakes do before they prepare to fly off. Nothing else for Dorian?
No, he has one more shot he can do. That's it.
All right. Galen, you probably have an idea where everybody is right now. What do you do?
Oh man. So I guess he's gonna where is shit. All right. He is going to send send Rage off, and he's going to.
You fly up. You see a fire to the south where the farm is. As you ascend, you also see on the balcony, in the doorway as you're curving along, Hysteria is headed into the door. Well, headed, towards the entrance. Kaya is on the balcony. You feel this is a particular situation for you. What do you do? You imagine you could just swoop in and help her out, lest she end up so close to Hysteria. The balcony's quite large. You could even land if for a moment.
Shit. Yeah, he'll do that. He'll dip down towards Kai.
Landing on the balcony.
And just look to her.
Fucking idiot. I told you to fly.
Are you gonna get the fuck on, or I'm gonna sit here and talk to you all day?
Oh, God. I guess she'll hop on.
All right. Give you another shot at flying off. You get considerable distance, the both of you. That Drake wastes no time. Hysteria, it's your turn. Dorian had been firing at you. I imagine you're quite mad at him, huh? So what do you do?
I mean, she's not mad, because again, it's all inevitability. Let's see. Okay, so Kai is flying away, right?
Yeah, on a riding drake. Well, a flying drake, actually.
All right, and I don't see the other two, right?
No, but there's at least 3 people in there. You think Liren's in there as well.
Okay. So, what do
you also have Spell Blast at level 8.
I do. All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. She'd look at Dorian and say, I wonder which will break first, your will or your body. And I will cast my Empowered Divine Lance.
Am I there?
No,
you are in the other room. You'll see the path of the lance, but you don't see either end of it.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, if I could see the spellcaster, I would kill the spellcaster. So it's a good thing you can't see it.
It's a critical hit. Evil damage?
Ooh.
I think.
Yeah.
I think you choose a type based on your deity. I think it is evil damage.
Yeah. It is evil.
Is it evil or negative?
Evil, not negative.
Evil.
51 points of damage.
So basically, it's just a series of spiked chains of pure darkness. Instead of like shining lance or whatever, it's just evil with spikes and nasty things. Like, you're pretty sure you'd get tetanus from it if it was like an actual physical thing.
Dorian gets hammered against the wall that he's effectively stuck to with his spider climb, and just smiling down. Oh, you poor woman! I'm already dead.
so much more fun to play with then.
Zipper.
Oh no. I guess I want to like kind of draw her in. So can I move to the doorway that's to the hall and like lean out and see her
Yeah.
carefully?
Yep. 5-foot step would be enough to peek out. You can see her. Yep.
Okay. And I am supposed to have a rod of wonder. And I wanted to use that on her.
Rod of Wonder. All right, and what does that do?
You roll a percentile dice, and it does whatever you roll. I have the list here.
All right, /
So can I? Oh yeah, there we go.
Percentile, you got 66.
66. Of course I did.
Which is a
fireball.
All right. And I think it is based on your... Let's just do a reflex save for Hysteria.
Mm-hmm.
The DC of your other spell is 25. That's a critical success. She takes no damage.
Oh, well, that wasn't the goal anyway. Do I have movement?
She's noticed
left?
you.
Yeah. Do
no,
I have movement?
You moved in, but I'm sure
Can I
she's looking right at you.
Oh, goody.
Yeah, you're still concealed. Hysteria. How do you react to that, I wonder?
It's not my turn yet, right?
No, but Thorn. It's your turn. Victor, you see, has returned, and he heads back up to his laboratory. Just waves at you gracefully.
So I am going to have my familiar phase out and phase basic. If Hysteria is within 60 feet, my familiar can phase right in front of her. And then my familiar is going to cast Vomit Swarm.
What?
It's going to cast Vomit Swarm, which is a 30-foot cone. So hopefully, if your companion is also still there, it will also get hit. You have to make a basic reflex save. And I'm not sure. I don't think my AC is correct for my spells.
It's a basic reflex. Will save.
Mm-hmm.
What do you say?
Okay.
What save is it?
It's
Probably
a basic
fortitude.
reflex save.
Oh man.
I'm so sad.
I know this is not going.
This like unstoppable force slowly moving across the bridge, just taking the most pleasure. But you see the vampire on the top of the stairs looking at you, Thorn.
I then just try to run toward the courtyard.
You can tell he's frowning at you.
Why is he frowning at me?
You look sad, but as you're turning to head over, we are out of time.
I know the cost.
And he continues up, just levitating straight up to his laboratory. And with that, 16 on the order. Back to the top. Dorian.
Did Dorian hear him say that time was up?
Yeah.
Okay. He will pull another spell strike arrow out with the level 1 shocking grasp. With the full first three actions of his, he will Eldritch Arrow to add an additional telekinetic projectile effect to it. And he will shoot it at Hysteria.
Right.
And critically fail. That's fine. He will use his quickened stride to basically head up and over the wall to get out of Hysteria's sight and off to run to the, I guess it would be the east?
Yeah.
West. That'd be west.
It's a minor thing, but make a reflex save as you're running.
Okay.
It's very minor though. And Hysteria, it's your turn.
Okay. So
You know where Zipper
I
is.
can see Zipper now, right? Yeah.
You'll have to get closer to get an angle.
Sure. Let's see. Is this fine? Like here?
Yep.
Okay.
It's perfect.
So I feel like as she's walking, and again, like she's kind of just taking her time, and she's not particularly in a rush. She would look up to where Zipper was and look at Dorian retreating and be like, "Your friends are beginning to abandon you one by one, yet still you fight for them. Why? And I will hit you with Spirit Blast." So that is a fortitude save.
Yeah, I think whoops, sorry, that's the wrong thing. Spirit Blast at 8. Zipper. You failed the save. I'm going to tell you right now. Are you ready?
Yeah. No. Oh my god. That's a lot of dice.
You're still alive.
So, yeah.
Whoa.
Basically, what you feel is so this spell is an assault on your soul. So you feel your very spirit shredded again by just this pure dark evil, like it is only pain, despair, agony, and it fills your brain and rips apart everything good that you have ever felt.
Yuck.
In other words, every day of the pandemic.
Oh. I mean, I was going for like the mentor's kiss, but okay.
Well, I was gonna say, remember all the training you were forced to go through when we were kidnapped and taken to the circus? Like that, but a million times worse.
Dorian, you trip on something. It was a loose piece of stone. And it reveals the kick plating along the bottom of this hallway. It's lined with something. This loose piece of the trimming, pulled open, it reveals a glowing rune, burning red. Zipper, you notice looking up at Hysteria as she moves closer to you. You're on the verge of death. suddenly a red light illuminating behind her. The cage opens again, this time blood red, creeping up, whispering something sinister as it moves up. Hysteria is hard to read, but you might be able to catch it. She's not the one causing this. Thorn, where are you right now?
I should be close to the courtyard.
Yeah. You'd have moved in. You see Victor there. He descended from a balcony in his laboratory, and he moves down.
Is she inside?
He nods.
Stand behind me.
Mm.
And
He
I
does.
allow bright divine light to cover me and focus it towards where I believe Hysteria is. I cast Searing Light and yell, God Killer. And
Suddenly the floor
Searing
shakes just a little bit. Galen, go ahead. You're flying away with your Drake. Speaking to Kai, you see the calamity below as you're swirling up to get altitude. But go ahead.
This is what the job was.
What do you
The
mean?
stone above all. No matter what, the stone had to get out.
Yeah. Just left them there to die.
Galen will kind of just grab her hand and turn back around to face forward. It's either that or we all died for nothing.
Yeah.
He refuses. Not even looking at you, though, but you see on his face that warm glow of the magical light off in the distance, contained within this shell. This castle explodes within itself, and the explosion causes its own shrapnel, explosions within explosions. For a moment, it almost looks like it's broad daylight, brighter than bolts of lightning. It continues on, rumbling and rippling. By the time this wall would fall again, you're all long gone. Galen, Kai, you've flown away. And the rest of you would not have made it. But that's where we're going to end off tonight, guys. Whew!
Wow.
Welcome to the shit show. That was the last stand. How
Wow.
you feeling?
We look back and Hysteria is still standing there in the middle.
Oh, she's better not be. I just killed my best friend for this. I don't even care that I killed myself. I killed my best friend.
I don't think we're best friends anymore.
So
I was really hoping Dorian would pull a Spider-Man on his way out the window, but oh well.
Mm.
I didn't even get to use all my nifty climbing tricks. Oh well.
Yeah, I didn't get to use any of my cool stuff either.
I
Oh
take
my God.
solace in the fact that Hysteria is dead.
That's
We
Is
hope.
she though?
I mean,
if
she
I'm
is
dead, you're dead.
divinely
We're right next to you.
Well, that's kind of why I did the Searing Light ahead of time, because that's fire and good energy. So I was hoping that it would hurt her more.
I mean,
Well,
but you just guessed, right? Like, because you didn't have line of
Yeah.
sight, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. So
I-
let's assuming that
Yeah.
also hit.
the whole place blew up though, and you were like 2 feet from
Yeah.
me. So
That was the last stand.
That was fun.
I was not holding back. I could have killed all of you, and similarly, Hysteria could have gotten away with that thing that I won't even try to describe what it is right now. But if you're confused, that's kind of the point. If you're watching, thank you for watching. Consider following or subscribing. We will be back tomorrow with our Age of Ashes campaign. But let's do our send-offs. Starting with Sam.
All right. Hey guys, I'm Sam. I played Kai tonight. I will be playing Augie tomorrow. You could also catch me on Tuesday playing Call of Cthulhu here on Penny if you do want to see everyone die.
Again, Julie.
this is my first time. I hope it's not my last. I am Julie. I played Zipper. I can be found on TikTok under the ID Moonstaff13. And hopefully this will be first of many.
Welcome to the team. Jen.
Hi, I'm Jen. I played Hysteria, and I am so glad that I got to roll up and be evil again, because that was a good time. And again, I'm very sorry, everybody. I love you very much. But I also love to be evil. You can find me on the internet as Savage Sparrow, savagesparrow.com for super awesome, nerdy shirts and cool things.
Dr. Mr. Smith.
Hello, I am Dr. Mr. Smith. I played the poor Dorian Ashwood.
Oh, Dorian.
Almost got away. Almost got away. I've got nothing else other than that.
Yeah. Spence.
Hi, I'm Spence, and I played Thorn, the witch that sacrificed everything. And you can catch me here tomorrow as Monica Freerunner. If you are interested in the Hysteria character, we do have a one-shot that we did, which is on our YouTube page. If you look for Dr. Lekogel's Demons, you can find out how Hysteria got to be involved in all this crazy stuff. And all of our videos get posted a week after play. And also check out the promo for tomorrow's show, because our wonderful Sam did an excellent job putting it together, voiced by James Glass, who played Dorf, and written by our wonderful storyteller Ian. So be sure to check it out. Give them some love as well. And if you want to find me, I'm Resident Moon all over. I rebranded all of my stuff, so I'm Resident Moon everywhere.
Last but certainly not least, Daniel. His character Galen did not die, but he gave his blood, sweat, and tears in directing this show, and I appreciate it so much.
So, guys, I'm Daniel. I played Galen, who made some really hard choices today, and has to face his students at some point. And yeah, that's just going to be a shame that haunts him forever. But tomorrow I play Salix Lavendale, so definitely come by and see my trash fire of a family. As I am going out of my mind before a undead king. Trash fire of a family is Sam as Augie and Jen as Vesper and Vroon as his brother. It's a great time. But no, definitely come check us out. I will be running a 5-episode mini arc for new Pathfinder players in January, kicking off on the 15th. So definitely come in and check us out for that as well. I do hope to see you guys all there, and I wish you a very happy New Year, and I hope everybody had a great time.
All right, and with that, I'll let you all go. Thank you for watching, and we will see all of you tomorrow. Good night.